Got it.
Got it.
Got it. All right, y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at northwest of Maxim. How are you? Guys, I'd like to welcome to our 7-day tropic medical astro weather report for 25th to the 31st May 2023. And I am here with my magnificent and beloved brothers, in whom I am well pleased. And hold on, make sure I get this right. There's Jag and there's Brother Sean. And they are
Islam people. I am to Bay. How art thou today?
Islam.
Sauce.
Islam,
peace and love to you all. I am Brother Shine Aleem Ill. You already know all is well. And man, if y'all didn't know, now you know. But bro, help me out here. Help a brother out. Man, what was that? What was that other appellation, bro? Speaking of Braveheart, and we had that Nas talk today.
Wow, I know, right? It's so funny that we did have that blueprint to ether conversation. You know, I still say, you know, the rap version of TD Jakes is still funny. That's funny line. All right, guys, let's get right to it. Okay, so and then I'll edit on the fly once you go in, brother. Oh, hold on. I actually start off. Okay, so let's do the screen share here. All right, start that broadcast here. All righty, guys, and we bring before you here, this is our 7 Hill Star Astro Calendar, right? Let me make sure that I actually have the, okay, there it is. I was waiting on my monitoring laptop to bring it up. Okay, guys. So I'd like to welcome to our 7 Hill Star Astro Calendar from March Aries 2023 to February Pisces 2024. Quote, time never was when man was not, and we are quoting El Hajj Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali doing religious corporate activity by affidavit being prophet, noble, true Ali. And what we have going on here, guys, we're going to go into the month, right, which is the moon cycle, right, pertaining to what is known as May, right, 2023. And we're here, guys, for the 25th through the 31st. And guys, what we have here is for the 25th, there is only one transit. And since I had, adjourned until this day, our last 7-day tropic medical astro weather report, I will commence, and I will have Thursday, which one transit is there taking place just about 21 minutes after sunrise. And it is a lunar mercurial quartile that's happening there, right? Luna square Mercury. And then next, for Friday, for the holy degree, it is our beloved brother in whom we're well pleased with the South, Brother Terrell Tamari Bay, for those 2 transits and that 1 lunar ingress into Virgo. As you can see, the moon will be void of course for 20 hours and 27 minutes on the 26th, guys. Moon void of course is buyer's remorse. All righty. So with moon void of course being buyer's remorse, that actually is saying to us that we are to just really allow ourselves to make all transactions on either today or Thursday. All righty. Because for 20 hours and 27 minutes, from 0 to 100 hours, 38 minutes, so about 2,300 hours, 5 minutes, is when this moon void of course is going to take place. Because you see the last aspect the moon makes before going void of course, it is going to be quartile to Uranus, or some will say square to Uranus, until it it's finishing up its transit in Leo before it goes into before it egresses Leo, right? And then ingress Virgo at 2,300 hours and 5 minutes, or 11:05 post meridian Eastern. All right. All righty. And then for Saturn Day, right? Iloa Kasiil is Brother Braveheart L with those 4 transits there for the day pertaining to the first quarter moon taking place during this solar Geminian transit. So the moon will be 90 degrees. All righty. To the moon will be 90 degrees to the sun. And as you can see, that's taking place at just 22 minutes after 1100 hours. So about 38 minutes before noon. Brother Sean will be going in on that, as well as Brother Sean also has 28th, right, for a quote unquote Pentecost, right? And Brother Sean will do those 3 transits there also for the 28th, while Luna is making its way still through Virgo. From our perspective here on Midgard, Earth Plane, Asha. For the 29th, alrighty, quote unquote Memorial Day, as some people would call that particular fiscal day, is Brother Terrell Tamari Bay with the South for those 3 transits. And that one lunar ingress, as you can see, there's another moon void, of course, taking place at about 0500 hours and 45 minutes, which is about 3 minutes before sunrise. When the moon will be going void, of course. And the moon will be void for 5 hours and 5 minutes until it ingresses Libra at 10:50. So remember, moon void, of course, is buyer's remorse, guys. So make no transactions during that time. So that's why when Brother Terrell goes over that one for Friday, we're advising you now to do all your transactions or quote unquote shopping, as if you may call it, today or next day, which is Thursday. Other than that, you guys would like to do nothing on Friday as making any transactions. All right. All right. So for Tuesday, it is I, Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey, with that singular transit there. Right. Looks like I got another singular transit. All right. With it's a solar lunar trine, and it's happening about 2 hours and 10 minutes before sunrise. If I'm looking at that correctly, 2 hours and 20 minutes before sunrise, Sol Trine Luna is taking place while it's still transiting Libra, and closing us out for Wednesday, right? Woden's Day, right? Wednesday, which is Iloa Raphael, is our beloved brother Sean Aline L, closing us out actually. And there's a egress and ingress in the lunar fashion, so to speak. So Luna will egress Libra right around the 7 o'clock hour or 1900 hour. However, you see there's another moon void, of course. So Luna's going to make his last transit quartile to Venus at 10:53 anti-meridian Eastern, all righty, or 1000 hours, 53 minutes. And then it will ingress Scorpio at 1900 hours, 45 minutes, or 7:45 post-meridian Eastern. All right. So you want to make no transactions during that time also. All right. So let's just come on back to the Zoom. We're going to come
everybody in the chat. Everybody put a 1. Put a 1 in the chat. If you think Brother Jack gonna have 6 house. Put a 2 if you think it's me. Come on, y'all. For everybody that's been here, y'all already know this is a strongly Wednesday thing with us. So it's a Wednesday thing, y'all. I don't want no 7s, but I hope Jack gets all the 6. All right.
Y'all hilarious. Islam to Brother 7, Judah Bilal L. Islam to Jadon L. Also, Brother 7 says Islam. Jadon says Islam, kinfolk, peace and love. Mary Bagnashi says greetings. Hey, Mary, how are you? Peace and greetings to you. And Mother Sahar, my beloved mother, whom we're well pleased, Mother Sahar L. She says peaceful greetings, everyone, peace and love. And she puts a 1.
Wow, Mother Sahar. Mother Sahar, wow.
That's payback, Jag, from the other day. I ain't gonna say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
She go, wow, man.
The mother has spoken.
House transits, bro. She wants you to.
The mother has spoken.
For you. She's rooting for you to have.
So you better keep that same energy when the mother has spoken. Because
show him.
Yeah, so you keep that same energy. I ain't even gonna say nothing,
bro.
Please, you know.
Oh, wow, man. All right. So let me share screen on over here and let's get started, right? And along with getting started, make sure I give the co-pilot also to Brother Sean L. Let's see, I didn't hit share already. Just want to hit share. All righty, there it goes. Right. All righty, don't be acting like that, computer. My computer is so hilarious. I think it's already doing that thing it does, man. Don't do that.
Come on, man.
Computer. Don't do it. Already had it ready. Already.
Oh, come on, computer, baby. Don't do me like that.
For the record, just shout out, because just speaking of the mother, shout out to Mother Toya and what she declared for the bro.
Oh my gosh.
Islam.
Yo, you are hilarious.
Yo, we was on the Zoom. I was like, Mother Toya, why?
Yeah.
Yo, y'all are
It's all right.
hilarious.
Don't worry about it.
Stop it. Wow, yo. All righty. I think I have the song. Oh, let me do the remote. Yo, y'all are hilarious, bro. Why are y'all like this, right?
I'm about to get Mother L. Barbara on my side too.
No.
Y'all are hilarious. All right. So it's on me, right? All right. So I got the 25th May 2023, right? So that being said, guys, what we are looking at here is sunrise, right? Sunrise is taking place at about 50 minutes and 23 seconds after the 0500 hour or 5:50:23 anti-meridian Eastern from our perspective here near the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic. Now, what we can see here is taking place at about 3 degrees, 57 minutes in Gemini. And what we can actually partake in seeing this actually and being conjunct. I take being conjunct there that Mercury there rising before the sun. However, it probably can't be seen, possibly because of how close it is. But Mercury rising before the sun, maybe it could be seen. Maybe Mercury could be seen right before sunrise while it's still under, it's well, 24 degrees away. I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if that's true, but you possibly could really see it if you're up a little earlier before this time as far as sunrise. Adjust your time zones accordingly for your sunrise. However, with that being said, what we can see with Mercury ruling is from the 12th under Mars's dispositorship, and Mars is, of course, under the moon's dispositorship, who's under the sun's dispositorship. So the sun has the final say-so here. Pardon me, moon is under its own dispositorship. So the moon has the final say so. I think we will be able to actively communicate and find that the theme for this day is being able to really actively communicate some things that, is really on our minds. We've been thinking about it, maybe been a little emotional about it, however, or having a sense of, fascination and denial pertaining to the topic. So this may be one of those days where you wake up recognizing that you may need to speak to someone in confidence, as well as allow yourself to be a little vulnerable on a topic that's usually sensitive. And with that, I yield the floor. And my one transit for this degree, I don't know. I'm just like, just how things been going. I only have 2 transits total for these 7 days. And I'll make sure I'll go up in the background and get things knocked out. So I have a lunar mercurial quartile. And just alone, just some keywords for lunar mercurial quartile. This is just subconscious stimulation from some type of thinking or communication. And it may deal with, local things here. What I noticed, man, too, brothers, that this thing wasn't moving like this until I started streaming. So now I'm recognizing what's happening while we're streaming. Because that thing was moving just fine when I was like, let me see how I move if I do this. Okay, next. Okay, it's just like pow, pow. Okay. Well, here it is. All righty, guys. So what you can see is Luna, of course, still at about 9 degrees, 45 minutes in Leo within the 3rd house. So we can have some secure creation in our conversation. Some people may be actually writing in a journal, or maybe actually putting some things together for themselves. You may be taking notes, maybe allowing yourself to put some things in order. Maybe you're writing in your notes on your phones, or maybe sending an email to yourself as a reminder, or setting an alarm, so to speak. Specifically, as Mercury there in and as I said, this is about 21 minutes almost, so 20 minutes and 57 seconds roughly after sunrise, as you can see. And this is taking place, and this is a 12th house, third house type of energy. And third is, of course, 4th to the 12th. However, 12th is 10th to the 3rd. So what we can, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, correct. And if we go around 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, 12th is 10th to the 3rd, 3rd is 4th to the 12th. So you'll probably have some conversation, and the conversation that we may be having, as I spoke about this sunrise, mother may have something to say to her child. So let's say you have a conversation with your mom, or your mom yourself, you're having a conversation with your child. Conversation will 9 times out of 10 be specifically centered around a move. Actually, I think there's going to be some type of sudden change in the quality of living, so to speak. Maybe someone is getting a new position to exercise their craft, or being able to have resources for themselves. And what they particularly do, actually, what they do is probably have to make a decision until your apartment's ready. It's like, hey, mom, I'm moving back there because my quote unquote job wants me to have an assignment there. However, my apartment's not ready. So I was hoping, could I stay there? Now, somebody would be like, oh, that's nothing. That's not a conversation to really, be thinking like, ooh, I don't know if I want to have that conversation. Caveat, though, the caveat to this conversation is that I think this particular mother has a sibling staying there. So someone's brother is already there, and there what may actually take place is the fact that you're dealing with your brother who's there at both of you guys' mother's house, but he may be someone that just got over a situation that may have been a little serious, maybe on house arrest. And we're not doom and gloom astrologers. However, there's been a sudden change in the quality pertaining to your particular sibling. And so the conversation that's actually going to be stimulated is not just you being there until your quote unquote apartment or house is ready, but you're about to find yourself having a sense of having flashes, so to speak, some reflections of your childhood. However, what may actually occur in this moment is you having to say something probably to that sibling that's there, that is there before you get there, and you may have to express the whole, hey man, we grow up when we do this. So it's going to be a serious conversation, but it's not going to be one that's going to turn into an argument. It's going to be a very reasonable conversation. However, I think it's taking place at mom's house, to be completely honest with you. And it's going to be going to be a loving conversation. Very fortunate for that conversation to happen. And it's going to be really speaking on how one is really standing pertaining to the pain that they've endured growing up or in different experiences. However, allowing that pain to be a teacher for them to be able to thoroughly expand how they isolate themselves and the things that they do and the information that they give, so that they can not have to relive their childhood, move forward towards their soul's goal, right? Their soul's destination, and be able to maybe share the values of their thinking and why they think that way. However, still effectuating those sudden changes to maybe just bring some light to give rise to why this particular isolation is better for their spiritual growth, so that they're a better being when interacting with others. And with that, I yield the floor to our beloved brother, in whom we are well pleased with the sauce, Brother Terrell Tabari Bey, Islam.
Excuse me.
Oh, Mother Sahar says she loves you, Brother Terrell.
Te amo más. The animal mouse, my brother.
Indeed. Shout out to JLV. Greetings to you also. JLV says peaceful greetings to the brothers and everyone.
You strong as fuck. Okay, all right. So we're looking at the 26th of May. Looking at sunrise. The sun's at 4 degrees. Gemini, 55 minutes. Yeah. So just really like Brother Hassan was just saying, backing off of that energy of coming to terms with some sort of let's just say childhood trauma or childhood wound. That conversation or that realization basically being emphasized as you rise, or coming some dreams from on high could be basically confirming something already known. However, it could be swept under the rug. So now this is basically the time to effectively deal with one's lower self, to basically put the higher self on the throne. That's pretty much what's happening here with this energy. All right, so before sunrise, the moon is going to square Uranus. Right, moon's in Leo. 19
One
degrees.
shot, one kill. What's the deal?
Golly.
6th house, Jack.
19 degrees.
Yo,
I can't even. Okay, whatever. So it's 6th house, right? And Uranus is in the
house.
Yeah, it definitely is. And Uranus is in the second. Yeah, so this is like if you're up around this time, whatever it is you may be feeling, or like what may be like, let's just say inspiring at this moment, that's obviously very like it's unusual. Just like I was telling the bros, there's some very unusual beings here today. So just sort of in a sense be open to someone that is out of the normal the things that you're used to seeing. Be open to that unusual thing, sort of connecting you to unity of some sort. This could be basically recognizing how someone may be having differences in regards of let's just say food. So let's just again, we can go back to the apples. I don't like apples, but I'll drink apple juice, right? So finding that balance within someone not liking plums and you like apples, but they gave you some plum juice or apple juice, and now you can see how it can be useful. So it's like coming to terms with things that weren't considered benefic and seeing how they actually are beneficial to one's constitution, so to speak. So this is a revamping of one's diet, and I'm not just speaking on what one eats on a day-to-day. It's also what one may be listening to, the programs one may be indulging in on a day-to-day. So yeah, that whole reality is being emphasized. So just pay attention to the things that you need to further yourself, and give the things to your constitution that helps you extend your vitality rather than deplete it, right? All right, so we're going to yield with that. So then we got Venus is going to sextile Uranus. So now this is the time to, in the sense of, because Venus is pertaining to the sensual reality or the senses, the 5 senses and how they are processed. So Venus is in Cancer, right? Venus is in Cancer. So it's very emphasizing on just what security is, how that actualizes in the sense of, which is, let's just say, domestic security, or also sensual security. So the things being, they being felt on a physical level, but they're also being felt on a metaphysical level as well. So it's the as above, so below are unified in a sense. You can now see it clearly. Still waiting on this to generate, but Venus is in Taurus. Venus is in Cancer, and Uranus is in Taurus, right? So just speaking up, and also what one may be indulging in, and again, not just the foods, but very much so the foods or one's diet is very essential here, or just going to the water to find some sense of peace, to like write, so to speak. All right, so we got Uranus is in the second house. First house. Yeah, first house actually, yeah. And Venus is in the fourth. Right, yeah. So this is some this is like that new identity, or just going to really just put on some new garbs to just have a whole new sense of connecting to who you are in the sense of cultural background. So you could just be getting some Moorish garb, and I think specifically at this moment, you could be redecorating the home, or you could be in the bed, online shopping to get some new garments for the home. So, bring a more aesthetically pleasing environment to the home, to bring some sense of motivation and or a creative childhood experiment, or the childhood igniting your inner child, so to speak, right? This is pretty much just doing the things which are aesthetically pleasing, and also helps the inner child basically do the inner child dance. Right? So yeah, just really connected to the things that's very aesthetically pleasing, and what actually what actually motivates one to get up off their ass. This is pretty much that energy. And now you can actualize it and articulate it very prudently, right? So Moon is going void, right? This is the Moon's last aspect. But it made its last aspect to Uranus, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, it was at Uranus.
Yeah, I'm looking at. Okay, right. So the Moon goes void for
2020.
Say it again. Oh, yeah, 20 hours. 20 hours and 27 minutes. Yeah. It's a tough one. So, if you are shopping for that, that garb, what are you possibly doing? Oh my God. You shopping for, the bed garments, or, turbans, fezzes, any of the Moorish garb, some sort of beautiful, whoa, what the hell? Excuse me. Any type of beautiful garments that you may adore, this would be a great time to get them. However, you may want to obviously do it before midnight.
Before the chorus, it's like,
I'll
oh
just say
man,
that. Just do it before midnight. You don't need just please. But yeah, so the Moon is going to ingress into Virgo, right? So yeah, this is just Mercury is in Taurus. Right, yeah. So Moon going into Virgo in the 8th house. Yeah, so this is now. Ooh, excuse me. This is now the dive into the quote unquote occult world, or the really connecting to one's higher self. Like I said, this is more than likely just removing the lower self from the throne and putting love on the throne, so to speak. So it's really connecting to that sense of, again, the things that seems unusual and so spooky, but the reason that's only the case is because there was a lack of interest in this said subject matter, and that could be as simple as nutrition, and knowing what a probiotic and an antibiotic is, and what that actually does for the body, right? Or connecting to what astrology is, or knowing each. Actually, at this moment, you could have been studying astrology for who knows how long, but now you actually are clarifying and comprehending what the moon what the moon actually does. As simple as wanting to be close to water, or might wanting to have you just have an affinity with being near water and nature, so to speak. However, it could be very 8th house could be a cemetery, possibly. Maybe you like to write at cemeteries because I don't know, the Bob Marley thing, like one of his It was something about Bob Marley and the Wailers. They used to perform in the cemetery, so they would have no. So stage fright wouldn't be a thing. That was something that I heard when I first started to indulge into Bob Marley. So that energy alone could be very emphasized. Going fear the most and like really, conquering that fear successfully. This is that moon in Virgo and that 8th house energy. Yeah, so conquer your fears and don't. Please, can you please stop? Please, come here. Please, come here. Just come here. Come here. Please. Come here. Come here. Just come here, please. But yeah, the moon in the 8th, just conquer your fears. And connect to your
running away.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't run away from yourself, right, Brother Sean? Yes. So your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Seriously. Like really take that seriously and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Cause see, we actually Aboriginal American Indian upside downians inside rightians.
Yep. See, that was a lie.
Nah. See, man, I ain't with that. Because being a private federal agent is better than being Moorish American. You know that, right? Let me stop, yo.
And the lie detector test said that was a lie.
Exactly.
Oh, come on, Mo. Don't do that to me, Mo. Oh,
and
don't do
lie
it to me, Mo.
detector just put the Oh my God. Do not lie. Just be truthful.
Yes.
Do not lie for the sake of your benefits, sir.
Exactly.
Are we clear?
Exactly.
We're clear.
Islam, right. Are we clear? Islam.
Oh, Dad, you hit it before I did. I hope I didn't hit it twice. I hope it goes to the 27th.
Double tap.
Yeah. Okay, good. You got it, bro.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, here we go. We're at Saturday, May 27th, 2023. Right? We got the Sun conjunct Ascendant, or also termed sunrise. We have Sun at 5 degrees, 53 minutes Gemini. So happy early solar return to all the Geminis out there. Right? And yeah, for this day, right? Sun ruling over the 4th house cusp. Yeah, it's just active communication within the home. Possibly, maybe we already know that it's approaching summer, so maybe a lot of trips are being planned, or just like some short distance trips, maybe to the library, or maybe to one's favorite like art gallery or movie joint, right? For those that want to go see the show, or maybe even like kind of doing some painting too. Just being active and communicating, and first doing that communication within, and then bringing that information and that communication to one's loved ones. And with that, I will yield the floor. Occurring before sunrise, we have a lunar Jupiterian trine. When you looky, we got Jupiter ascending, right? Luna's in the 5th house and Jupiter's in the 2nd. Right. So first. Yeah, in the 1st, right? So yeah, finding some value in, like I said, cleaning and organizing. Luna being in the 5th, 2 houses away from where she loves to be, what's home for her. Yeah, and just finding some values in, like I said, really organized. So maybe folks will be like kind of collecting some books, or going back through some old books, or even like old videos and lectures, and like maybe even revisiting their childhood when it came to when it came to the church, right? How they went to church and things they learned from the church, and now how they've grown if they separated from the church, right? They was able to find their own savior, or beings will start finding that they are the only being, they're the only savior they need. There's nothing outside of them that can save them. Right. And yeah, I know Brother Jag was talking about like childhood. So yeah, maybe some childhood dreams coming to light, or just like kind of like some wisdom or some memories being surfaced from one's childhood. Yeah, and doing some health matters. So yeah, I don't know why a typo is coming to my head, but yeah, if you feel like doing some Taibo or something like that, or just kind of getting active, whether it's physically or just doing things mentally, this is a good harmonious time for that, to really just indulge in grounding oneself in their own truth, and the divine truth, and just organizing. Yeah, cleaning up house. Maybe someone's gonna help their loved one, or maybe their children, have like a big house cleaning, right? And on that, I'll yield the floor. Next up, we have a solar lunar square, right? So the luminaries here, causing some stimulation here. Luna, is in Virgo, 6 degrees, 6 minutes, so 6:06, right? Souls in the 10th. Would you looky? All right, so the 1st and the 10th. So for this, I will say here, I think beings are gonna find some stimulation within themselves. Just when it comes to how they view themselves in their careers. So yeah, if something like work out long term, it's that real beautiful opportunity to kind of organize and kind of just put the pieces of the puzzle together to see, what's not working, what's holding one stagnant. And Mercury is in that 10th house too, ruling both over Sun and Luna, right? And yeah, Luna and Mercury, they in mutual reception by exaltation. So yeah, it's gonna be a strong time here. So making sure, like Brother Jag was saying, that you're journaling or going through your journals, and like I said, just really organizing and communicating the things that need to be said within oneself and also outside of oneself with those loved ones or even those in authority. So yeah, going to those that know law and speaking in an intelligent tone, because you've been studying, you've been grasping concepts, so now you're feeling confident within oneself to ask questions. And Uranus is there, conjuncting part of spirit. So yeah, this is some upliftment here to, self-authority. Self-authority and some self-values here, like wanting to move forward here. So maybe just yielding to the flow rather than forcing. And looking within, and just organizing one's emotions, feeling it out. And with that, I will yield the floor. What we have next is a lunar Saturnian reflection. All right, so we know Luna's and Virgo, Saturn's and Pisces. I think I saw that right. Saturn might have been in the 6th. Yes, Saturn is. Whew. And I barely got away from the 7th house, Jack. Luna is in the 1st.
Yeah.
Saturn is in the 6th. Haha, no 7th house, Jack. But moving on here, yes. So 6 degrees Virgo. Kind of curious what that might be. My look at her, really nothing there between asthma and degree of dress. Interesting. So, what'd you say, bro?
I said interessante.
Interessante. So yeah, we know, like I said, Virgo deals with health and service. Pisces deals like universal law, maybe retribution, or just love and surrender. So this is opportunity to really reflect on the things that one's really holding on to, right? So maybe practicing on some solar plexus work here, right? Saturn's in the 6th, so maybe restricting some things that isn't viable to one's health, or just able to take the necessary information and things that's being shown to become more responsible for one's health and taking those steps, because Moon in Virgo is all about cleaning and organizing, really just getting active and grounding oneself. And Saturn and Pisces. Yeah, you're gonna have those full circle moments. So really reflect on those things that he wants to let go of. Just really take responsibility for everything, and don't blame others, and really stricken or bite down on the things that aren't serving or aren't just adding to the process. And Mercury is ruling that ascendant. Mercury's in the 9th. So yeah, some higher learning here. So becoming active in things that have always been foreign to you, right? So it's like someone's looking to like go vegan, or study like a different kind of language, just taking an interest and an opportunity to not let their mentality really kind of get in the way of things that truly could serve you. But the fascination denial there might have you feeling some kind of way in your heart, so you might think it's a battle between the heart and the mind, but it's really just the decisions that one makes, and can one really hold themselves accountable without looking for others to hold them accountable. So yeah, just being open to the things that are foreign, or that's shunned but should be praised, right? When you go read Misery, and be open to that, because there's a whole new world to unlock. But one could be scared, or wonder what folks are going to think, because the things that they feel in their hearts, or they have come across but not really sure, hasn't grasped the necessary puzzles to have the clarity. And it's like, well, if I'm do this, what is everybody else gonna think? Well, if beings think it's cool to jump off a bridge, are you gonna go jump off a bridge because everybody else is doing it? Or are you gonna be like, yeah, man, y'all motherfuckers stupid? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just really let go of the things that don't serve you. With that, I yield the floor. So next up, we have a lunar Mercurian trine. Hey, and they're both in mutual reception. It's pretty cool. Luna's in the 8th. Pardon me. 11 degree 37 minutes, right? Muy. Luna's at the astrological degree. It's pretty cool. So yeah, get your astrology. Mercury's in the 4th. Yeah, this is like getting some astrology. This is like getting family astrology. Right? Maybe like things go to therapy, but don't take this in the wrong way. Not knocking therapists, but therapy really doesn't lack that perception that astrology can bring. So getting some family sessions, getting some mirrors for the family, and letting everyone get to know themselves here, because it's hidden, but things aren't. I don't think things aren't really hidden, but folks be afraid to face the truth, because for whatever reason. So getting that family astrology, finding harmony and grounding oneself and communicating, listening to the emotions, the subconscious here, Moon and Mercury, as quick thinking and emotions. So developing one's soul by communicating what needs to be said, thinking before one speak. But there's a harmony here, so just enjoying like being out in nature. This is both earth signs. So being out in nature, connecting with trees and the birds and all that. And maybe someone's even, not even going anywhere, but just going out into their backyard, right? If they have a garden or, just doing some outdoor activities at home and indulging oneself in nature and grounding. And someone's probably going to cook a good meal too. Probably something that is unusual, right? And with that, I yield the floor. And moving along to Sunday, right? So what is termed Pentecost? So for sunrise here, 6 degrees, I'm actually going to go to the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary for Pentecost, right? So there's a couple different ones here. The quote unquote day of Pentecost was with the Israelites, the great quote unquote feast of harvest or day of the first fruits. Right. So that day of Pentecost signifies a gathering of spiritual powers for the purpose of harvesting the first fruits of spirit. Otherwise, a dedicating of these new forces to spirit to unselfish service in the vineyard pertaining to the Lord. All right, so then coming down metaphysical, the meaning of the day of Pentecost is that in the unfoldment of the spiritual mind, there are periods when the ideas that we have meditated on and accepted as true spring forth into the consciousness, becoming living realities in our life instead of mere mental concepts. All right, so things, the gathering the manifestations here. It's like it's not just a mental thing. They're actually coming here. You're actually putting things into action, just not thinking. Right. So in this awakening, we get the fruits of the ideas that we have planted in our mind. Right. Just like I just said, we have escaped from darkness, Egypt, and have entered into light, promised land. When we fill our mind with true ideas about God or the Caliph, right? Not none of that sky daddy dogma and man or mind, we should gather our thoughts to one point or quote unquote place. That point or place is, quote, I am that which I conceive myself to be in spirit, end quote. If we proceed in an orderly manner, there will be an inrush of spiritual force from the higher realms of consciousness that will fill the whole body. So to the one who's awakened to spiritual reality, the day of Pentecost signifies the degree of mind action that brings to consciousness the presence of spirit as substance. So 6 degrees is a Virgoan degree. So yeah, there's a lot of, make sure you're gathering and writing these things on this day, right? Yeah, because there's going to be like a lot of Akashic downloads here, a lot of realizations, clarity, aha moments. And there's an opportunity to really take these new things, these clarity moments, these ideas, and really put to bed, no Jay Holiday, all the things that don't serve you, that one might have, rejected because they're used to it, or, they're afraid of the unknown. So letting go of things that hasn't served one so that one can step forward into this new foundation, this new light, right? After coming out of Egypt, mental bondage and the darkness, or some would probably like to say as well, the dark night of the soul, right? So will one leave the dark night of the soul, what they could be confusing or illusion as light, and really put forth those actions, ideas that they have been planning. And with that, I will yield the floor. Pretty girl, what you doing?
I hope I just didn't hit that twice.
Putting your butt, man, get your butt off my foot. Goodness. All right, so let's see what we got. First up, all right, we got Soul Square Saturn. All right, so blah 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 blah. Saturn is there in the 10th house. Soul's in the 12th. Would you looky? So yeah, it's like a purging. It's like a real purging day. So this course is considered to be like stimulating or challenges, restrictions of some sort. And Saturn actually loves the 10th, right? Naturally rules over Capricorn here. So wow, I just really sounded country right there. I literally just got myself like, whoa. Just bring forth the ideas that ye feels within themselves. Not being afraid to ask questions, really, and just surrendering, right? This is like a stop fighting, resisting energy and just surrender to love, the first principle, and not surrendering to one's mind or worries, right? That could worry one day but pass the next. You're just like I'll just give you the exact one because I was just reading that today, right? They're where is that at? Yeah, they're just like worthless baubles of the day. They arise and sink like empty bottles on a stream. They are illusions will pass away. From chapter 9 from the Holy Quran or Koran, whatever you like to say, right? Jesus, or the I am identity, attends a feast and teaching human equality, right? So loving oneself to bring the balance to the body, soul, and spirit, letting those ideas come forth, not being worried or fearful about what others will think, so that one will not feed the energy of Molech, and restricting oneself from anything that doesn't, serve a long-term purpose, but feeling stimulated and these new communications and concepts that have arisen. And with that, I yield the floor. Next up, we have a lunar Uranian trine, which is looky, brick, astro cookie. All right, Luna's in the 12th. Uranus is hanging out there in the 8th. All right, so 8 and 12. Amen. Use a safe word. Nah, I'm joking. But anyways,
Wow.
Yeah, things that pop. But Luna's at 20 degrees Virgo. Hey man, chill. Luna's at 20 degrees Virgo. Uranus is at 20 degrees Taurus. So this is now coming off, what was that trine earlier? It's lunar Mercurian trine that happened earlier. So now it's now one's looking to move forward in those ideals and those communications that they had, because now they feel that, eccentric electric energy to move forward and not really weighing the outcomes, but not really worrying about all the things that really don't matter, right? Those projected ideas and thoughts and worries. Spirituality here. So, like I said, taking some notes, doing some yoga, or just learning some new trade or skill that can cure one's anxiety. And it also comes with food too, right? Through the gut. So healing one's guts. Maybe doing a detox flush, right? Get you some castor oil, the old school way, or the new age, like a juice fast or something. Mercury's and that's 8th too with the North Node. And nope, Jupiter's not in there. And yeah, really looking to move forward. And grounding oneself in these new things that have, risen forward, right? Let that Christ consciousness, right? That's happening within, and bring that forward to the outside of yourself and share that. And with that, I yield the floor. Yeah, I got one more time. Next up here, what do we got here? What do we got here? We got a lunar, a lunar Venusian sextile here. All right, so Luna's, hanging out there in the 9th. Venus is there in the 8th. All right, occurring 2 houses away here. So this is about finding some value in ways that one can really find the beauty within themselves and within the knowledge that one is acquiring or, will come to acquire. Jupiter's ruling the chart. Jupiter's ruling that from the 5th house. God damn. Ruling that chart from the 5th house. So yeah, some of that is expansion and like creative outlets, creative ventures. The ideas that one has been planning for, maybe just holding on to. All right. Mars there too in the 8th. So yeah, there's a sense of doing it for the fam, as what one say, but really it comes first and foremost for doing it for yourself. And there could be someone, maybe like someone's grandmother, or probably on the paternal side, maybe bringing some information, or it's kind of like some clarity, right? Whether that's like in the physical or within one's dream here. There's something coming, right? Taking some short travels, maybe a long distance travel. Venus at 22. Yeah. Yeah, I really stand this day for the Sunday, man, to just let go of these things. That's not serving, right? And I think that's something to celebrate rather than praising, holding on to things that hasn't served or done anything but harm. Right? You like, well, what you mean, Shaw? But like, come on. How do you, in one praise, doing the same things that don't serve you? And you know it, but you don't, one probably just don't want to acknowledge that. So, just growth opportunity here to move forward with one's plans and one's knowledge. And with that, I will yield the floor to Brother Sauce.
Islam.
Put another one in the chat if you want to see bro with another one.
Yo, stop.
Yo. And if I don't put one in the chat, if he got to do 100 push-ups.
Hey, bro, you up one right now, bro.
That's cool. That's fine.
So yeah, if you win this today, since you trying to get me to 100, you gotta do 200 then.
Okay.
Because you know I had to double it.
I concur. The contract is sealed.
Yeah.
All right, so we're looking at the 29th of May, right? 1443 is Moorish calendar year. 2023 is Christian calendar year. Crusade cool. Right? So the sun's at 7 degrees, Gemini, 48 minutes. And really that last aspect that Brother Sean had, that's pretty much the emphasis of this day, I would say. It's like really just being decisive and coming to terms with really what satisfies, oneself. And like the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because, it's like what you seem or deem to be beautiful, that's specifically up to you. It doesn't have to be based off of someone else's thought process or value system, so to speak. Speaking of Venus, because Venus would be what you value in the value system, right? So it's just connecting to that sense of, like I said, what you value and how you will be more, let's just say, decisive in actualizing and living based off of that reality and sensuality, so to speak, right? So the first aspect that I have is the moon is to oppose Neptune. Right, so the moon's still in Virgo, and Neptune is in Pisces, of course. Right, so moon in Virgo, Neptune in Pisces. This in most cases really, like I was pretty much saying earlier, connecting the metaphysical or the reality, the unpracticality, so to speak, and the practicality sort of, merging, or, recognizing the, what is it? Unity and grief, though unlike, are united. That's me quoting Circle 7. Right? Yeah, it's pretty much finding that balance in between, sadness and joy. And how both of those are, admixtures of each other. Like they need each other for the one or the other to be recognized, so to speak. Right? So the moon was in the 11th and Neptune was in the 5th, right? So yeah, this is like really that recognition of like individuality and what really, motivates one to be who they are. However, it's also recognizing the beauty and the necessity of group economics, or you extending your skills or your talents, which would be fifth house, to the community or the people at large. So you may help someone who you may never ever meet in life. However, whatever it is that you creatively do, specifically, some sense of healing. And we went back in time, bros.
No,
anyway,
I went to the first. I started adjusting it already, bro.
I got you. It's yeah, that sense of the reality, or the sense of really helping someone with your creative abilities. And it can be as simple as nutrition, like using Mother Sahara as an example. She's a nutritional coach, and if you have some sort of let's just say you have a hard time with meal prep, or you have a hard time comprehending what foods are best for you to eat. You could go to Mother Sahara, for example, or you could do this research for yourself to actually recognize and connect to this this beautiful part of life that just seems so hard and challenging. So just like working out every day, or doing breathing exercises for 10 minutes of your day, like that's challenging for people, right? So finding how that balance is basically needed for the sense of growth. So of course, starting small, 10 minutes a day of meditation is phenomenal. If you don't do it at all, that 10 minutes a day will, let's just say a whole sun cycle, 365 days, more than likely could become 2 hours of meditation. It's possible. So it's just finding that beauty in taking it slow, so to speak, but not being lazy, actually being effective in your practice or your studies, so to speak. Right? It's pretty much that energy there. So that's the moon's last aspect, and the moon goes void for, was it 5 hours and 5 minutes? Let's see.
Correct.
Yes, 5 hours and 5 minutes. Oh, and even with that, Brother Corey with the CMOS too, like that, you could just do really starting to connect to nature's law and really connected to the things that actually is, again, beneficial to the Constitution, and really vitalizing the Constitution rather than depleting it. So CMOS could alone be Neptune, or it could be Moon and Virgo. You know what I mean? So just really connected to nature in the natural sense, right? But it could be uncomfortable, because some people, you may not want to intake CMOS like you would eat applesauce. So you could just put it in your tea, for example, or put it in a smoothie, right? That sort of reality and adjustment within one's intakes, so to speak, and creative endeavors, right? So then, like I said, the moon goes void for 5 hours and 5 minutes. The moon is going into Libra, right? So this is the constitutional law talk. Now everyone's talking about jurisprudence and the Constitution. So
first they was talking about that federal agent. Now they trying to talk some jurisprudence.
Farewell.
The Constitution.
You want me to show up to your platform, or any of my bros show up to your platform, and you're not Moorish American, you're Negro, black colored, but don't know how to ask sincerely, you might want to consider sending 3,000 units to our Cash App. That's the only way we'll think about showing up. And I mean that shit. I'm boy, telling you, bro, if bro really come through next Friday, and I think he is, then we're gonna have a talk, you know what I mean? Next Friday, y'all are gonna have a treat. One of our beloved brothers in whom we're well pleased, that's sincere, that you know, our mutual connection is Mother Rashida Bey, the cigar hopper, the Great Seal, National Association of Moorish Affairs. And so that's
honest to her, Islam.
Yeah, honest to Mother Rashida. So, you know, that's, you know, I and bro have that, you know, connection there, you know. And speaking with, we spoke with him today, actually, you know, I called him, just kind of give him a heads up, like, yo, these debate guys who don't know how to just humble themselves and ask to sit at our feet, you know, they're doing these, all right, let's try to jack the information from these people and emulate who they are, try to study their words together, but we need to do it in the form of debating. So let me try that. And it's, you already know, Moorish Americans are at the top of everything on the planet. So, you know, us coming to speak on any of these Negro Black colored platforms is really, you know, they should be thankful and grateful, you know, that we've done such a charity in giving our time. Because remember, that other day was 9 hours, 10 minutes, and 44 seconds that I gave charitably, you know, to beings that really are only about discord. And we already know that when you're dealing with that kind of energy, we already know the outcome of those beings that reject who we are and what we're about. Because at the forefront of our minds, pertaining to who we are and what we're about, is Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And then you already know, it's like, hey, look, this being seemed like they were perfectly healthy until we...
It's not funny.
No, bro, you lives don't go well when they reject this. It's like, well, we know what's going to happen to them in a few months. So, and we don't do anything. It's not like we just going to threaten people and do things physically to them. No, it's energy that we are. The universe literally goes, oh, they rejected you, baby. Don't worry. They'll lose their teeth. And they're trying to figure out why their teeth are falling out and all they did was just go to sleep one day and woke up and it's like, oh my shit, why are my teeth falling out? Because you reject truth. So now nature has to get rid of you. Because, yeah, and I don't think people don't really respect it. They look at it like it's magic or spooky. It's like, this is why we cast not our pearl before swine. You know, that's why I gave a caveat. I'm coming to teach, not debate. And I'm going to say, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, that's why I said, bro, hope bro shows up. You know what I mean? And I know he will, you know, because we discussed it, man. You know what I mean? Next Friday. And, you know, so, because it's going to be a grand admonishing to all Moorish Americans to stay away from those Negro Black coloreds, you know, because at this point, the only thing that we have for them is go to rvbaypublications.com, stay there for 18 months and study sincerely if you can read. Go to 7hillstar.com and lawfulliving.com for now, because that's where we go to exercise, to get jurisprudence, you know, exercising going, right? Because wherever 7hillstar goes, we better people's platforms, whether they admit it openly or not. We better people's platforms. We make people's platforms better. We make them revamp themselves. We make them change their language. We make them change how they advertise for things that they do, whether it's donation based or not. Period. That's what we're good at. That's what we do. I'm open for correction before you continue, bro.
Islam.
Alrighty, Islam. Then I shall say no more. So we're moving next. You already finished with the ingress for Libra?
Constitutional law, jurisprudence. What is that? Yeah. So what is constitutional law? What is jurisprudence? That's pretty much the topic of at hand. Everyone, that's just really the sense of liberation. People are maybe getting copies of the Federalist Papers and things of that sort. People are getting their first U.S. Constitution, or they may be going to their state governors to get the Constitution. You know, things of that sort. This is pretty much what's happening. People are getting into the documented information of what they call history. Right, that's pretty much what's happening here. People are having their minds blown. That's pretty much what's happening. Yep. So yield to it, because the next aspect for that is Moon's going to trine Pluto, right? So then this is just that whole tower moment, so to speak. Tarot card, tower moment. It's a tarot card, power moment, power card. Yeah, this is shattering realities in the sense of waking people up. This is Prophet Noah Ali uplifting fallen humanity, because it's the sense of enforcing the Constitution and seeing why that statement was stated. Here is that moment, right? We went into the future a little bit.
Really?
One time. But yes, this is just really just again, just connecting to historical documents and really going back in time. People could be just, it's possible people are like reading FBI papers about whoever they're interested in, so to speak, or whoever any sort of COINTEL operations, or reading about King Alfred is possible, you know, in the silent wars. All of that information is being circulated now in the sense of you know, just to wake the people up to who they are, you know, recognizing that the people are the government. They created it, so to speak. So they give any of those beings, whoever we may be speaking of in the sense of public office, all of that power. So now that's just, it's a sense of reforming and addressing what's best for the people at large and what is not. That's that. The trine Pluto. And it's now the people are recognizing how, you know, what did Prophet Noah Ali say? You know, like, we'll recognize, I'm paraphrasing. Oh man, when he was basically saying how we need to be close to each other. We need to be in close quarters of each other, so to speak. Because it's us recognizing how we need each other. Without us unifying in the sense we're not gonna do shit. It's just the reality. So now that reality is being emphasized. So yeah, it's in the sixth house. Pluto's in the sixth house.
UNITY.
Pluto's in the sixth. Yeah. So now.
Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah, people. Yeah.
Stop, y'all.
Yeah, it's that's removing anyone that's unconstitutional. Right here, you're seeing it. The sixth house is the public officials. It worked for you. Right? So now you're saying how and what that does for you in the sense of, is it beneficial or is it not? So now going to your constitution, you can see where and what you can enforce to get these governors or public officials, policy enforcers, whatever title that they have. It's basically getting them in order respectfully, not in the sense of it's just straight intelligence, not being unintelligent and dogmatic, right? Very intelligent and peaceful, so to speak, right? Yeah, so this is the energy here. So then moving on, the moon is to sextile Mars, right? So now this is this basically connecting to, you know, like, I remember when I heard the word jurisprudence in social studies, right? It's a time travel thing. Mars is in the 8th house. Moon's in the 9th. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, what you have learned before from times past, or certain people that you, yeah, specifically at a childhood moment when you were a child, because Mars is in Leo, so we're going back into this moment where we were taught something, which would be the 9th house, this philosophy or this thought process that was basically implanted in our minds when we were younger. So now at this moment in time, you're able to actualize and move effectively with this information. Because again, like as a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, seeing the word jurisprudence, that's okay. At that moment in time, that seed was planted into your mind. And then now at this moment in time, that word jurisprudence, you can actually comprehend and teach it to someone very, separately or differently than when you were a 5-year-old when you heard the word at that moment in time. Right? So this is the moment where you can get someone to comprehend their abilities and power, so to speak. Powers, quote unquote powers. It's really force. However, we'll just use that to get people to connect to illusions and reality, because power is just an illusion. It's a farce. However, knowing that you are an infinite being or infinite force connected to something, incomprehensible, that can humble you. And it can give you a sense of peace, not humble you. It gives you a sense of peace, so you're able to respect someone else as yourself. Treat someone as you would want to be treated. That's pretty much the energy here. However, it's not being a turncoat. If you're being unhonorable, disrespectful, so on and so forth, you're going to be told about yourself very respectfully and honorably. And if that means, removing you, that's what it means. But you just have to know what and what you want to, where and what you want to deal with, and why and who, for the sense of, let's just say, everything be in balance, because the moon's in Libra. So everything has to be balanced and just for it to be an actual just relationship and unified and harmonious relationship. Yeah, so be open to speaking up about the things that get you going, moves you. However, don't be afraid to speak up about those things that move you, because it may hurt other people's feelings. If you're being truthful and honest and you aren't looking to hurt someone's feelings and their feelings get hurt, it just happens. It doesn't mean, that's the end all be all. All right? So just think before you speak, but speak honestly. Islam, you.
Yes, wow. All righty, it is on I. And guys, we're having a sunrise here at approximately 0500 hours and 48 minutes. All righty. For the 30th May 2023, sunrise is taking place approximately at 0500 hours and 48 minutes. And I'm going to say it's probably going to be roughly around, about 8 degrees Gemini? I'm going to say. We'll see once that. So I'm correct, huh? That was off the top of the zone, right? So with that being said, 8 degrees Gemini in some
45 minutes.
8 degrees 45 minutes, which is around what people will say is the ascendant for the U.S. horoscope for July 4th, 1776, right? So with that being said, what we could actually see with this being here, with the sun conjuncting when some astrologers cast certain charts for the U.S. corporation that was first recognized by Morocco, Sultan Muhammad III. Again, you're welcome. I think what will be brought to light here, it's going to be some beings that will bring some ancillary information pertaining to the history, pertaining to the Moorish Empire, which there's so much documentation that to avoid that would be one who will say they can't see the sun at high noon. And not seeing the sun at high noon, you would have to be bird boxing it. You would literally have to probably have duct tape over your eyes, with your hands over the duct tape, and more duct tape around your hands, around your head, so that you can't move your hands at all. That's the only way you won't be able to see the sun at high noon. And the only way that beings would have to be in their spirit to miss the history, the actual chronology pertaining to times and events past, right? Dimensions past. That'll be that there's a truth that's there. So it would behoove us to really see what's there, take notes, and be very diligent in making sure we're comprehending it for ourselves by further doing our studies. So that's what I see will be taking place, will be the theme for that day, because there will probably be a lot of things, even things you may find be brought up about quote unquote U.S. corporation history. All right. However, some people may not have the wherewithal or nor the intellect to comprehend U.S. corporation, unum sanctum corporation. They may still think United States of America. However, the United States of America, the colony company that it is, first being recognized by Sultan Muhammad III, will probably, there will probably be something about that coming across a lot of people's eyes. You may even see something on, a National Geographic or, public television. Something may come across your eyes and your ears. And if you're here now, or you see this when we're not live, see this later, when the 30th comes, you'll think to yourself like, whoa, that's what the bros actually mentioned that would happen on this day. Especially with their fiscal Memorial Day just being the day prior, which Brother Terrell was just going in on. All right. Secondly, and again, that's just like, see, sunrise is happening there, right? All right. So with that and the sun ruling, alrighty, over the fourth house while this is taking place, what people will have a light shined on is the challenges and obstacles that the U.S. corporation had to go through because they are foreign to the Moorish Empire. Period. The foreign entity is said United States of America. The foreign entity is the U.S. corporation. The foreign entity is the unum sanctum operating corporation, contemporarily called United States of America, because what was originally here was that which both Moorish sons and Albion sons had provided some unity by coming to agreements, capitulations, treaties to end wars, so there stopped being this mass bloodshed that keeps taking place and these disagreements. So with that being said, be wise to make sure that what you take note of and what you see that's communicated to you, take notes pertaining to where you are, to what you call home, so that you can do your own research. And with that, I yield the floor. My only testimony for today is happening about 2 hours and 10 minutes before sunrise, at about approximately 0300 hours and 38 minutes. It will be a solar lunar trine. And I'm noticing too, man, when we're hitting next, software is not pausing. When we go previous is when this is happening. I've been paying attention this whole live, like, so it's when we hit the previous button. Got you. All right. Sometimes when we go forward, it depends on how much of the leap we're doing, but this just is talking about processing while streaming because of the demand on the processor to do both. But it's all good.
It's like, come on, bro, you got me going hard over here.
Yeah. It's, I'm just manifest a new laptop soon. And so when it's a little stronger as far as its processing. However, I love this baby that it's on. All right. So with that being said, it happening 2 hours prior, I'm going to say that the sun, of course, is in Gemini, but it'll probably be in the second house go out on a whim here. See that the sun will be in the second house, of course. And while the moon is in Libra, the moon will 9 times out of 10 probably be in the 6th house. So that's just me going off of the top of the head and just kind of knowing placements, so to speak. With Libra being 5 signs, so to speak, away from Gemini. If the sun is in the 2nd house, then I expect the moon to be in the 6th. So
looky, Astro Cookie.
I may be right. However, since it hasn't generated just yet, I would just still go with that. Sun in Gemini in the 2nd is us, finding the values in creative communication that will be in harmony with, securing a service that allows that communication to be very well balanced. So there's going to be some very well balanced, secure communication. Hey, look, I was right. Right? Sun in the 2nd, moon in the 6th. All righty. And I know you guys probably thinking, oh, that's because you looked at it before. No, it's once you comprehend the time intervals based on what you have, it's kind of easy to know. Once you know what time sunrise is or when sunrise occurs on a certain season, you can kind of tell when certain planets are going to be in certain houses. It's not even really complicated, really. However, we're scholars and we enjoy studying and study math. We're not busy, thugging and drugging, drinking and smoking, and then trying to have a conscious community debate, but anyway, to each his own. What we can actually see here, like I said, we're going to find the values in creative communication and being able to secure ourselves. There's going to be some service that really allows us to securely balance the harmony with maybe some ideas that, ones may have not actually seen to be fruitful for them. It may actually culminate prior to this, maybe even the night before, as the moon is applying or approaching the degree where it is now at 8 degrees, 40 minutes Libra. All right. And like I said, the moon is trying to where the sun is. All righty, while the sun is still basically transiting what is sometimes called the U.S. horoscope ascendant. All righty. So with that being said, also Uranus in that particular chart for the U.S. horoscope, Uranus is there on that ascendant also. So if the sun conjunct that and the moon actually trining that, I think you guys are going to be seeing some sudden changes in the structure pertaining to what was maybe founded. It may actually get to a point where maybe the change in the structure will be the way that the beings that interact with that entity, the interaction will be different. It will be manfully considered, right? Mindfully considered. And I think beings will begin to really adjust their activities because their concepts are being adjusted due to the information that is coming across their eyes now, even though what they'll recognize and should recognize is that they should have been seeking and searching this information. However, sometimes being comfortable in one's materialism makes one negate having to be a scholar for sincere and true and faithful survival. And with that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I am well pleased, Brother Sean Aline L, as he closes us out for Wednesday, 31st May 2023. Islam.
Indeed, man. Y'all remember that one song, that Hurricane Chris song? Let me see, what was it? Drop and give me a 50. Jack, I'm gonna need 4 sets of that. Drop and give me a 50. Drop and give me a 50.
Wow, yo. Man, hey, baby, that's Hurricane Chris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yo, wow, yo. That is hilarious, man.
planets transiting into 6. Ayo, Jack.
Yo, he's not letting that go. Yo, that's so hilarious.
You ask me why I'm like this, I don't know.
Oh, hilarious. Hilarious, man. All right. Guys, remember, go to 7hillstar.com. All righty. Sign up for our email list. Schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy session, because the Mirror AstroLiteracy session is the world's #1 self-reflection session. Is for AstroLiteracy. And a lot of beings just want to know, do I come into some money? Am I going to find true love? And things of that nature, and all of that, where what we do here at 7hillstar is do our best to help you to prevent repeating history by you meeting the most important being in your life that you've never met before, and that is yourself. And a lot of people think they know themselves. However, when you see this session that we actually have for you guys pertaining to AstroLiteracy, you will see that it is not an actual astrology reading. We're not Boom Quisha and them who just now decided to stop going to church and pick up spirituality in the woke community. We're not them. All righty. We're not Ray thinking that he's come across some knowledge and he's going to allow his Black American Indian upside downiness to be what is the promoter to be the promoter to his tarot card reading, or the motivation for his tarot card reading. So what we're actually going to go over and see is a means for you to really allow yourself to be fair to yourself, so that you do not have to continue practicing lying to yourself. Brother Sean,
That's why.
you may have to. I'm right here though. I'm here. Something just hit my phone, so I'm about to mute. But
yeah, you already know I can. I can get my Gemini on, right?
Yeah, I'm still here, but I'm about to.
Working.
What's good though? Islam.
Yeah, do you think Islam, right? So I'm about to go listen to that song we done. Freaking everybody song. But yeah. Sun in Gemini, y'all. This is sunrise for the last day of May. Right? Yay, as we about to step into June. So yeah, I would definitely say clean out one's domus. Right? Do that last cleaning, that last kind of shedding all of May's energy, so that one can step into a fresh energy. For June, sun's rolling over that 4th house cusp. So yeah, just finding some communication within the home, letting that light shine, or just letting one's heart and soul truly speak to the things that one's really feeling, or that's on one's mind. And just not worrying about giving out that communication, right? And with that, come on, baby, don't do me like that. There we go. Let's see. Wow, we got that occurring. So I'm gonna yield for that. So we got a lunar Venusian square occurring after sunrise, right? And after this aspect, Luna will be void of course for 8 hours 52 minutes. All right. After this lunar Venusian square. So let's see. I don't know that Luna's in Libra, Venus is in Cancer. So I think Brother Jag had said it earlier. Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. So yeah, just finding that internal beauty within oneself. Let's see. Venus is in the 12th. Luna's in the 3rd. right? Inner joy. So yeah, and Libra deals with beauty. So this is probably someone like maybe making some changes here. I would say put that off though if you're gonna do like some changes, maybe like cut your hair at home, or maybe dye it, or trying to line oneself up. Maybe just hold out till Luna goes into Scorpio, right? Or beings might decide to do that before this aspect. So before 10:53 anti-Meridian, this is Eastern timing. So yeah. Maybe someone wants to rise up and do that, make some changes. Mars is conjunct Lilith, some fascination and denial. All right, maybe this pertains to just how one views oneself. All right, and you know that we're all born perfect. We just have to remember that. So really not yielding to the outer influences. All right, because I think Brother Jagged said it too. Something about like one, in the sense of like one man's trash to another man's treasure. Someone, might think you're quote unquote ugly or not fine, but someone else could want to, give you their heart and their all because they see something besides, well, seeing past the flesh of things, really getting to the soul and the spirit, right? Loving oneself. Let's see, Luna's right there in the third too. So yeah, and Luna and Venus is in mutual reception. So yeah, things doesn't really feel natural. Right, maybe someone might just get over those worries, or not really be so caught up in that, just feeling fierce in their beauty. So maybe someone this day is gonna do something, I don't want to say like bold, but like when old folks will be like, oh wow, I would never do that. And just embracing and daring and being one's own leader. With that, I will yield. Come on, baby, click. There we go. So yeah, that moon void, of course, is going for 8 hours, 52 minutes. So no major purchases during that time. Make sure you get all your transactions done before that. So now we have this lunar ingress into Scorpio. Occurring at 1945 minutes or 7:45. Post meridians, Eastern timing. So let's see. And where did Luna was in a second? Probably like in the 10th or 11th house, maybe. Luna be doing that ingress. Let's see. There we go, 11th house. So yeah, this is some home mystery here. So maybe a lot of beings are going to be connecting with families through via the internet, right? Maybe like meeting like some cousins, or reaching out to like some distant family members, or just meeting some folks and then finding out like, hey, I didn't even know you was family. Kind of that nature. And just some, like I said, home mysteries coming out too, right? When we think about Luna, we think about home, we think about Scorpio, inheritance. So, just some home inheritance. And now that with that home inheritance, whether that's actually something physical, tangible, or something spiritual, they can give that emotional nurturing out via the internet, spread that like me and my brothers do with Prophet Noble Drawley's literature. We take it to the highways and the byways and to the four corners of the world. And that's very easily to do, with how the internet is going. So make sure that one's being, humanitarian in a sense, embracing the unknown, not fearful of the unknown. And in about, let's see, about 6 hours, Luna will be making that conjunction with the South Node. So, and it's an applying conjunction. So things coming up to show you why some things need to be let go of, right? So maybe there's some darker nature things that one, could be shameful or fearful of, but what's the best way to, handle our shadow, as they would say, is to embrace that. And because you can't get away from it, right? So it's embracing that lower self, but not letting lower self rule and everything that comes with that lower self, such as, hatred, shrewdness, and everything that the higher self is not, which the higher self is love and virtue. So, embracing that and being love and being honor and looking to maybe even gift beings via the internet in some fashion. Oh, shit, I almost forgot I gotta do that. Moon square Pluto. But pardon me. And let's see, Sagittarius is on the rise, on the ascendant, with Jupiter in the fifth again. So it's finding one's own truth and what they value. But what's really beautiful is once one becomes aware to certain things, will one, kind of stay that same course they had, or will they now begin to walk their own path, fearlessly, without a shadow of a doubt. So with that, I'm gonna yield the floor. Right, and next up we have a lunar Plutonian square. That will be the last aspect for Wednesday. All right, so let me hit next. Oh my gosh, what? Oh, no. I don't want Luna square the North Node. Oh, man. Look, I had a boo-boo on that one. I would like to thank you all guys for joining us for our 7-day tropical medical astro weather report that we bring to ye every Wednesday. All right, bring you that beautiful communication every Wednesday, giving ye what ye needs for oneself and for their loved ones. So let me hit that back up. How did it even do that? Hey. So it's there we go. All right. So I'm about to hit a previous there. Brother Jay, you anything, bro? Say to the people?
Read a book. Whatever you're interested in, read into it. That's what I'm doing.
Indeed.
Get you a copy of the Constitution. Study it. Read it. Read the state constitution too. Study it. Read it.
I'm back. Okay.
All right, yeah. Make some parallels between, the federal organic and every state constitution.
All righty. I can stop screen share, correct, bro?
No, I thought I had the Pluto symbol, but I guess I hit the North Node, so I'm just waiting for that to come back up. But we
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Let me see
on the
where
last
we are. So this is your last transit for Luna square Pluto, happening at 2000 hours in about 2 minutes approximately.
Correcto.
Islam. Yeah,
Waiting on that to load. I just say Luna and Pluto. It just yielding to the yielding to the instincts and the feelings that's not serving, right? An opportunity to really take the triggers or just how one reacts or feels about things, and even the nurturing side, and really transmute that and transform that into something very valuable. And also one could be just yielding from one's mother wound attachments, one's relationship with their mothers or their early childhood upbringing, or what was not impounded, but put upon them while they were younger. So now they're able to start to sense their power and come into their own nature. So being able to yield to those things that was not only taught but projected onto them, that could still be lingering until this day. All right, still honoring mother, but still healing and finding one's own emotional aspect, like something that can really truly nurture themselves, right, without having to go to anyone else.
Finally decided that it wanted to stop. Pardon me, bro.
Finally, it decided to stop. Luna's in the 11th, Pluto's in the 2nd. Finally, right? This is coming through. Yeah, I'm thinking things. I'm just really gonna be learning a lot from different cats on the internet, but to really use discernment, because I can just speak for me, but you can just really feel when beings are being sincere and when they're trying to get some kind of attention or trying to sell you something, right? Pluto's in the 2nd, dealing with values, priorities, self-worth. So, it's an opportunity to also just really yield from comparing oneself to what one sees on the internet. Because a lot of folks be lying, trying to live up to some kind of image that they see everybody else is living by, that everyone else is doing. Just yield to what you see on the internet and find your own truth. Just be true and sincere to what you know and what nurtures you, without trying to compare to those, that you see. Just being comfortable with your journey, but also, just knowing that you are where you are now, but you're not where you used to be, and that you will continue to go on that path of where you need to be and where you're destined to be. But can you let go of those, let go of those ideals and even groups? So this could be even walking away from some friend groups or networks, that serve their purpose, but, one could be feeling like they need to move on, right? And maybe just not, holding themselves in a place that they feel like they need to because they're not sure what else to do. And Jupiter is still ruling that ascendant. So, just finding some inspiration and some optimism about these new sense of values that seem foreign, but, really give you the opportunity to make path and a new way for how you, non-statutorily speaking, would like to move forward about your endeavors and your home life and your career life. And with that, I'll yield the floor.
Islam, bro. Islam. Well, guys, I'd like to thank you on behalf of all our beloved brothers in whom we are well pleased. Brother Terrell Tamari Bey, Brother Corey Bey, Brother Sean Aline L, I, Brother Hassan Ghazio Bey, and Brother R. Muaba Bey. I'd like to thank you for enjoying you guys selves with us, as always, as we do this every Wednesday. However, you guys already know. We're doing this every Wednesday, but we're also around every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you guys will see us again on this Friday. We'll continue to go a little past where we started last Friday on the introduction pertaining to the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. You know, and we trust that you guys was able to get a lot of fruit out of that. From the introduction to that. I'm just really thinking that it's a beautiful time, especially while, you know, it's a very beautiful time while where Gemini is transiting now, and what has occurred in just a few degrees of the solar transit into Gemini, and what has happened for the people to be aware. All righty. And what I trust is that you guys be, exert reason and be prudent. You must exert reason and be prudent. And that's according, of course, to the Holy Quran, right? And again, beware of those that, you know, may say and sound like Moorish Americans, but aren't. They may be American Indian Atlanteans, upside downians, aroundians,
and Africans,
right? From the land of outer space, Opolis. So, you know, because they're the Aboriginal and indigenous of
from the town of Pan Africa.
Yeah, they're from the town of Pan Africa and the continent of Blackopia, right? So, yeah. So just caveat emptor, all righty? And you'll continue to see our consistency, us being honorable, because we already know that the highest title that one could have is either brother or son. And us being Moorish American, right? There's, you know, like our brother said, we spoke with earlier on the phone, and I trust, you know, he comes on by next Friday. You know, if any Moor, a sincere Moor who actually studies, because we are the creme de la creme. We are the top in society, period. We go into any type of organization or society of any sort, we immediately go to the top of that because of the decorum that we have and who we are and the studies that we have. Even though we know sometimes when people see, such as myself, when I am vehemently defending and protecting the temple and the prophet, and making sure that people can tell the difference between the temple and the prophet being perfect. The temple is perfect because the prophet is perfect, and making sure they're not being misled by maladministration, because beings are comfortable in their materialism. All righty. They're comfortable in not being Egyptian adepts. An Egyptian adept is one who has overcome Egypt. Egypt is mental bondage to sense consciousness. So an Egyptian adept is one who has overcome mental bondage to sense consciousness and therefore are in their higher self. Brother Terrell, Tamari Bay, is there anything you would like to share? Any last comments of any kind? Going once. Going twice eyes. All righty, Brother Sean, Aleem Mel, anything you would care to say, broski doski?
This lady sells, study, and say get your mirror and everything else that Seven Hill Star has to offer. But first and foremost, make sure that you are a part of Prophet Noble Drew Ali University, and studying that, so that these slick talk beings trying to sell you something and all those other things won't fool you.
Yeah.
Which they're at a certain level of comprehension, and
right.
they might not love themselves. So just love yourself enough to study the information so that one can use discernment when others are trying to leech or be a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's your energy, pretty much. And I yield with that.
Shout out to Brother Tyro Bay. I know I saw him when I was checking the chat at one point of time when he had came right in. Let's see who else has come in since then.
It's love to
right
all
after.
you Moors and Morinos. Morinos and Morinas.
Indeed. Mother Sahar said Brother Hassan sent Omar to his back office.
Yo.
Hey, Mother Sahar, honestly, my beloved mother mistress consort, she was saying the same thing. And when I went back and read the comments from the live, I immediately saw you ask, what is it with this back office? I said, yo, y'all on the same page, yo. Like, that's bananas. Like, we were literally having a time with that one. Like, seriously. Right? A Dark Blash Bay says Islam, everyone. Mother Janelle Blash L says Islam family. JLV is talking about that castor oil there. Sean, castor oil for fitting, like in the old Tom and Jerry cartoons. Right? Masahar put a 1 again. When you ask, put a 1 if you want Jag to get the 6,000 again. And then he had that Pluto, that lunar Plutonian transit, right? Wow, Jadon put a 1 too. You guys are hilarious, right? Y'all are hilarious, right? Right, that middle point. Jadon says, gratitude indeed. Mother Sahar says, quote unquote, debate guys. Jadon says, yeah, I just saw you release that. Yeah, man. I mean, well, like I said, man, hey, I trust that it's for some good, because I know some people are going to be like, see that brother, he don't know how to act. See, he cursing and carrying on. He don't follow the prophet. Suck a dick. And I said it, pause. Because in other words, you don't know what you're talking about. At the end of the day, you're not taking your time to actually allow yourself to go and study for yourself. See, that's why it was so great when I declared and proclaimed my nationality. Damn, my palm is itching. When I was declaring and proclaiming my nationality, I declared, I put it and claim that. Goodness gracious, palm is itching. There wasn't these idiots, in 2014. The only thing I was online, honestly, like I said, the videos that Mother Delilah had given the new Nigiel that was on his website, on his YouTube channel, and whatever else I could find that was pertaining to C. Freeman L. Because I was actually watching C. Freeman L for like my first 3 months before I even heard of Brother Taj Tarife. And then once I discovered who he was, like the videos that was there via Mother Delilah, shout out to you, beloved mother. I'm gonna have to call her and just check 1 or 2. When I saw that, saw those videos, then about 2 years after that, 2 months after that, I went to House of Reawakening Minds, and for 15 months straight, every other Friday, I was going there. And as much as I could get near the Philly Corporation and Shaka Moxon every other Saturday, because when Brother Taj was at House of Reawakening Minds on that Friday, that Saturday, he would be at the York House at Philly, right? And shout out to Brother Seton Rabe also. And I think that was, what was that brother's name? Was it James Davis Bay? Well, I think that's who it was. Let me see if I can remember that's who it was. But York House at Philly was actually like a retirement community for elders. And that's not where Brother Taj was staying. Let me just be clear. That was just, they had an auditorium where class could be held. And Mother Roz would show up. I think she was actually there one time. I showed up also to one of the York House at Philly presentations. So 15 months of that, and in that 15 month span, I was able to be around Mother Delilah, Brother Taj. I think I got introduced then to Mother Rashida Bey, and got the different, Mother Rashida Bey is very gifting. And so she was, which means giving also. And I was able to have some books, gifted to me immediately, which really fast tracked me. And she predicted that I would be getting, be a part of different astrological organizations. And she's even predicting that I'll be partaking in another one so soon. Heaven 7 Hill Star will be, not only are we already internationally recognized, but somewhere that's not technically here on this portion pertaining to the land, but across different waters. Mother Rashida would like me to speak with some other beings in that hold particular offices, because she has predicted that it would be better, not just for myself, but for but I know she knows what we're doing for the community, but she saw some things before I even recognized it. Because when she saw my chart and she was, doing other things, because most of us that are sincere, we're psychic. Alrighty. So I know Mother Rashida is really spot on with my psychic abilities also. And that's why I will probably speak a little bit more about how great she is also come next Friday, when my mutual brother, because both our quote unquote spiritual mother in that sense is Mother Rashida Bey for the Great Sale National Association of Moorish Affairs, the Sayaraha, the Great Sale National Association of Moorish Affairs. However, again, I'd like to thank Brother Taj, Tariq Bey, and Mother Delilah Pasayel for really, laying the carpet, so to speak, and giving me everything that I needed so that by the time I met Mother Rashida, because they already knew that I was going to look into the things that they've been sharing with me over that 15-month period or whatever. So by the time I met Mother Rashida, it was just like, it felt like a family reunion, honestly. Like, okay, so we've done this before in another lifetime. It feels way too familiar. And so that's why I trust that I was able to share those experiences with Brother Terrell, Brother Corey, Brother Sean, and Brother Ara, as well as other brothers that you guys have previously seen that are no longer part of 7 Hill Star by their conduct, of course, and which leads to their ultimate decision making. However, no matter what, I make sure people have what they need. Honestly, and that's just how it always goes, despite how I sound. Some people may think I sound like an asshole, pompous, arrogant, and I think I don't, what's the word? How do Americans say? Don't give a fuck. I really just don't give a fuck. Because I know that I'm doing what needs to be done at the end of the day, because the charges, in order to change the people, you must change their literature. And yeah, could I say less expletives and things of that nature? I could. However, when I'm vehemently defending what is right, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be, cream puffs to the ears. Oh, he told me to not do this. No, I'm going to be exacting. I'm going to be stern. All righty. And I'm not going to pass away. All right. Because that's truth. And I'm living truth, period. And so are my bros. So those bros and all of you bros that are out there that ain't even directly with 7 Hill Star, you know who you are. When you're sincere, the universe conspires in your favor accordingly. If you're not all the way sincere, you may go through certain fires and endeavors until you get forged properly so you can make better decisions in life. Let's see. Back to this live chat. Just to say, Brother 7 Judah Bilal says 7 days, right? He says Islam. Jadon says, yeah, we are in those days where minds should be blown by now. Mary says, I love listening to you, brothers. I learn a lot. Indeed, Mary. C. Thomas says, Islam to you, brother. Mother Sahar says, sincere gratitude to the brothers at 7 Hill Star. Indeed, beloved Mother Jadon says, that they do good, brother. All right. Indeed. You saying, that they do good, talking about creating discord and things of that nature. I think that's what you were speaking about. And I know sometimes you guys are probably thinking like, how are you recalling that? That was so, but I mean, I pay attention and I listen, you know what I mean? Mother Carmisha says, Islam, 7 Hill Star, Astrology Firm, peace and love, Moors. Indeed, Mother. She's saying no about something else. I don't know. That's hilarious.
That was probably mean. I said when I accidentally hit that wrong ass, I was like, no.
Oh, okay. Cool. JLV
or that's probably Brother Jag when he seen he had them 6 houses and I ain't had none. He was probably like, no.
Oh, you had no seventh house transits, bro. That's interesting. That's very interesting. But guys, just know that's just an inside joke. You know what I'm saying? It's not even that serious. No house has an issue or a problem. Even when you read things in astrology, those that are sincere scholars, they'll say the second, sixth, eighth, and 12th houses are houses that just doesn't aspect the ascendant, right? So that's where that really comes from. So it's like, oh, these are the troublesome houses because the second house from the ascendant would be semi-sextile. The sixth house would be sesquiquadrate, quincunx. Pardon me, forgive me. It would be quincunx or inconjunct, which is 150 degrees. So the sixth and the eighth house is inconjunct or quincunx, however you like to identify that, 150 degrees from the ascendant. And then again, semi-sextile is the 12th. So that's why they're just basically going off of the semi-sextile and the quincunx, or if you want to identify it as the inconjunct, as those places that are like troublesome. However, no real sincere astrologer and one who is a adept student for life pertaining to observing the workings pertaining to nature is going to use that in a doom and gloom fashion. We'll just look at the qualities that are there and make comparison to the events that have already transpired and the events that are to come and those that are taking place based on looking at particular transits at the moment. All right. JLB says, thank you all. Brother Derek Glass Space says, love and respect, brothers. JLB says, must exert reason and be prudent. And she says that as if she's singing it. She got music notes with that. Yeah, why not make that a song, right? Exert, right? She just made me realize too, we was doing like a Bobby McFerrin version of it. Like instead of don't worry, be happy, he was like, exert reason, be prudent, right? Woo, 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 right? Like, seriously, right? Jadon says the charlatans. Mother Sarah is laughing, and Brother Tyro says Islam, guys. I'd like to thank you all again on behalf of all the brothers of Seven Hill Star, right? And again, guys, the reason that went down Monday for that 9-hour video, shout out again to our beloved brother Chi Bay of Ruffins. You guys, they're doing their tour thing, right? They got a few, tour dates or whatever. Support the bros. They still sound great and still look young and fit, right? They're in shape. They're doing great. As I've seen, even when Chi and David had went, they had did the Halloween block party, right, across the pond near what's termed London. And to see all the other R&B acts, I was like, wow, man, she and David still look like, they're priming it, even though it's been over 20 years of being in the music industry. And it's funny, when I talked to bro today, I kind of let him know what took place a little bit with that 9-hour video with those unconscious Moors. We were just reminiscing about the fact of growing up near the Baltimore Corporation and being in a part of because it was just entertainment, you know what I mean? That was near the Baltimore Corporation. You either grew up singing or dancing, or you did both. You was at the skating rink, probably like 2 to 3 days out of a 7-day, period. You know what I mean? Different things we were going over. However, at the end of the day, I told you, I'm like, on bait, right? He's like, yeah, but whoever's listening, the information that you have and the way you bring it, it may be people there that, of course they need it. So just do what you do, regardless of how they look at it or whatever, these people being conscious community Don Kings or something, just looking for beings to promote or whatever. Because that being that Omar guy, right, was like, sent me a DM, was like, yo, we got to bring you back to go against the American Indian guy. And I'm just like, I gave you guys 9 hours of my time. Like, be thankful, right? I didn't respond to him. I'm just like, be grateful and thankful. I gave you 9 hours so that you guys can go back, listen to it, and try to make your Negro Black coloredness be less and less and less. Because, if I didn't show up, you wouldn't have what you got. So the reason that his platform in any way, shape, or form will be hot for the next few days is because of Seven Hill Star, and you're welcome. supreme honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali for bringing back to me what I needed, and me being making the decision to meet him in his literature and see why, even if Prophet Noble Drew Ali is not in the physical, body, there's still that energy which never dies, that's still super present. Sometimes I really think I can feel that energy, and it's a certain feeling. And those of you that sincerely study, you know when Prophet Noble Drew Ali's energy is around you. Like, you can feel that energy around you. You know what I mean? Without coming off like with some spookism stuff, you can just feel that joy, feel that elation. You know what I mean? It's not some extremism. However, you can sense it, and you sense it very strongly. With that, any other questions, comments, and or suggestions going once? Regulated Moor, peace and love to you also, Moor. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going twice. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going thrice. Well, we'd like to thank you all for joining I and my bros. We'll see you Friday as we go further in to reading a little more of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. If you guys didn't see what we did last Friday, go and check what we did with the intro to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Gave you a little history, went through their timeline. Actually, it's a continuation, because then we stop at a particular slide and we got to continue looking at the slideshow of what they presented there, because Malika had came in on that. So I guess will be a continuation to the intro to the FRCPs. That's probably what I'll put there. So YouTube's like, you can only use this many characters in your title. It's like, okay. No, I can't put "Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood." I can't. Okay. Anyway. Not darn. But anyway, with that being said, guys, I'd like to thank you again. Regulated Moor said they tried to discredit divine movement, and the laws of reciprocation will take place. Yeah, it definitely will. We welcome all in honor to the family at Seven Hill Star. Indeed, beloved brother. Indeed. And that's what it is, man. And like I said, we'll see you guys Friday. All righty. And we'll keep checking out what's going on with Lawful Living as far as the classes are taking place. Sunny had posted, Malika's daughter had posted that Malika wasn't feeling too well, just a little under the weather, I think. So you guys just send your Malika be healed energy, because we don't speak for victory, we speak from victory. So I know that even when I text Sunny, I was like, just responded to her on one of her posts on Lawful Living. I was like, tell your mom she is healed, right? So that way, that's what's in the subconscious mind and moving forward. So for those that don't know, I'm like, what's been going on with class? Sunny had put out, because I had asked Sunny, I think on Monday on one of her posts, and it was in the comments when I asked her what she said or whatever. And I was like, tell your mom she is healed. Right. And maybe you guys will see Malika next day, which is Thursday, what you would call tomorrow, for a regular Bible study, Friends-in-Law Bible study. And it's not like we're sitting there going over Bible verses like that. No, it's called that because of the way that one can use the Bible to protect themselves. However, it's religious how you protect yourself against people seeking to use their administrative codes and administrative venues to hold you to administrative adjudications, which you don't even qualify for. You can't qualify for. You're not an employee that has consented to be adjudicated upon via some entity or beings that work for that entity, employees, quote unquote, that work for that entity, to bring some type of suit against you administratively. All righty, so that's how that goes, right? JLB says, peace and love, everyone. Mary says, peace and love. And this is where we say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam is